What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Lumsden Motorsports Garage. I'm Wade Lumsden. We finally got the modified in the garage. If you guys remember from one of the past videos, last race we broke a chain limiter, and we're going to end up having to get this thing jacked up into the air and inspect for possible damages. I'll go over that stuff throughout the video and things to look for when, you know, some stuff breaks. So there's already some stuff on the surface that I can see, but we're going to dig into that once we get there. Plus, we're going to go over a new possible steering wheel and why I might be doing that kind of stuff. So check it out. Clear the car off. Got to change out my. Had to change out my sprinkler control box from this wonderful 1980s technology that finally gave up the ghost a couple weeks ago. So had to upgrade all that. But of course, car's a flat surface, so it's gonna it's a catch-all. When I'm not working on it, it turns into a catch-all. So. Currently messing with the steering wheel. Alright, so I'm going to show you here. This is my steering wheel. Okay. My steering wheel. My steering wheel is a 15-inch diameter, outside to outside. 15 inch, okay? And it is dished from the base to here 3 inches. So I got a 15-inch diameter wheel with a 3-inch offset or dish. I'm having some space issues inside the car here with my right leg, and I'll show you here in a minute those space issues. So I went and got these wheels. I'll show you why I bought more than one. This is a 13-inch wheel, 13-inch diameter. Okay. Offset of 2 and about about 2.5 inches, which is crazy. These and I'll compare it to this other one too. Okay, so that's 2.5 inches, and I don't think I even need to pull this one out of the bag, and I'll have my point made. But this is a 13-inch diameter wheel as well. Okay, and then if you want to look at the dish, there's another way to do it. You can put the flat side down on the back, and then go to the top here. And this is I don't know if you can see it, 1 and about 3/4. What's crazy is in the catalog, this is listed as 2 3/4 inch offset or dish, offset dish, whatever you want to call it. And this one's listed as 3. So, or 2 3/4 as well. So it's like, I actually ordered both because this was most like my wheel, that big fat kind of grabby kind of wheel. And this is a lightened aluminum, all drilled out through I think this was Jegs or Jones? Joe's. This was a Joe's wheel. This one's a Long Acre, I believe. Yeah, this one's a Long Acre. But I'm glad I ordered both through Summit so that I could see what was going on. Because I was looking to get the wheel spaced a little bit closer to me, and I'll show you why once I crawl inside the car in comparison with this wheel here. So let me show you my dilemma here, but I'm gonna loosen up these bolts where I can do a steering wheel swap here real quick. Sweet. All right, so this is my quick disconnect. This goes towards the wheel, this side. Pull it. But what it does is there's a little deal on the inside there that locks into a groove and unlocks from the groove with this. All right, so I got my bolts here. Okay, so old steering wheel. See if I can grab it here. And let's grab 2 of the bolts. Here. I'm gonna go ahead and clip this on. What we're gonna change out is the bolts to get a good idea. All you need is 2 to get an idea of what's going on here. All right, so what I got going on, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe if I turn some light on. Steering wheel, right there. Okay, and this is my brake bias adjuster, which naturally likes to sit at this angle. This is where it naturally likes to sit. Pointing towards my leg. Okay, now I'm gonna pick up my leg and put it on the throttle. I am not pressing down on the throttle, but you can see I'm barely touching here, and I'm making good contact with this, with my leg. Now imagine when I go down for full throttle, and this comes up. Now I'm adjusting my brakes, or my leg is getting jammed. That's what's happening. All right, so this is what's going on. You can see the steering wheel here. I've just got it sitting. Notice my feet not on the throttle. Here's my brake bias adjuster. Okay, I'm gonna put my foot up like it's on the throttle. I'm not pressing down on anything. But now look how close my leg is to the steering wheel. And look where the bias adjuster is resting. Notice it's kind of spring-loaded up against my leg here, which is no good. Now, imagine I go full throttle, see where that thing goes, and then I try to come back up. I'm either adjusting my brakes or I'm hitting a stop, right? And if I get super excited, I'm hitting the wheel. Or if I'm trying to make an adjustment because that gets in my way or whatever, I'm hitting the steering wheel. So, that's where this different steering wheel size is gonna come in. Let's try some stuff out. All right, got the 13-inch wheel on here, the one that's a lot like my other wheel, and check out the amount of room I got. Oh my goodness, in comparison. Okay, now I'm gonna put my foot up on the throttle pedal. Look how much room I got. Just doing that, okay? And now if I force my leg over to the left, as far as I can comfortably get it, it's barely making contact down here, like my wheel was when my leg was way over here. So that's awesome. Granted, this is still kind of getting in the way, but at least I have a out, I'm gonna try to figure something out about this to get that to where it stays out of my way. I don't want to go to that knob style because I hate the knob style brake adjuster, but I don't know, we'll mess with it. So the other good thing about this is there's a rule that your knuckle is supposed to be below the rock guard. With my older wheel, the other wheel, when I would do that, if I put my hand down to the side a little bit and my little knuckles were up, I would pass. But if my big knuckle was on the very top of the wheel, it would hit whatever they put across there, and apparently that's a no-no. So this actually dropped my hand down to where I am very obviously underneath the limit there. So that's awesome. Now all I got to do is decide whether this is the wheel I want to go with, and if this is going to be comfortable to drive, because it is smaller diameter. It's going to be different. So I'm going to sit in here and make some vroom vroom noises and pretend like I'm a race car and see if I like it. So I always suggest playing with your news toys. Always suggest playing with them. So make sure you're going to like them. So here we go. All right, you guys get to sit through me doing race car noises because that's what I do. Yeah. Okay. Okay, maybe those aren't the race car noises I should be making. I tell you what, it's gonna suck if my power steering ever goes out, because I'm not gonna have as much leverage to crank on the wheel, which has happened before. So, all right, let me. Man, I think I'm gonna like this thing. I think. I like how big this one is in my hands, like with the padding around it. So I think this is gonna work. Vroom! I'm a race car! Well, I like that. So I think this is the route I'm gonna go. Is this wheel. So now I gotta get it all bolted together and go from there. I still got to figure out what I'm going to do with this brake adjuster, because it popping over is not a good thing. Having it coming over sideways like this, I don't 100% know what I'm going to do about it. Part of my instinct is put a spring on it, mount the spring back here, so that when I adjust it, it always holds it there. But then it's spring loaded, so I should be able to adjust it, right? And what's keeping it spring loaded is actually the spring portion way back in there that actually connects to the master cylinder that helps the rod screw in and out. That's an actual spring. So when that gets jammed up against the firewall and stuff, that's what's creating the flexi bind that's flicking it over here. So got to figure that out. All right, so now I got to finally bolt this thing together. I got my bolts. I got lock washers. Got my 3 bolts, lock washers, and if you have ever lost a steering wheel because it's come unbolted in the middle of a race, you're probably going to be a little skittish and definitely going to put some thread locker on it. Just as a backup, lock washers and thread lock. You know, in the cartoons or in the movies and stuff, when people lose steering wheels and they just, you know, and it's funny. It sure ain't funny when it happens to you trying to go into turn one and you're screwed. It is worse, I would have to say, than going into a corner and losing your power steering belt. Because if you lose your power steering belt, you could manhandle it, at least, right? But if you lose the wheel completely, Jesus, take the wheel. You know, it's about all you can do. Boom. Don't know why I have myself wrapped around my car all weird to work on this. It's so you guys can see things that I'm doing, I guess. I'm trying to share. Sharing is caring, guys. Sharing is caring. All right, there we go. We have steering wheel. That's the wrong kind of car. Or still the wrong kind of car. A little better? No? All right. This was the only thread locker I had, was thread locker orange. It is a high strength and removable. I got lock washers on there, which normally does the job just fine, but like I said, I have lost wheels. I have lost a wheel in the past, and it's just a whole lot nicer to feel that little extra bit of safety. So, all right, gotta take this tire off here. And, this is awesome. So I took that shot in the left rear, or basically the whole left side of the car, and wow, it tore up this wheel. So this wheel's bad, which sucks, because it was brand new. So that stinks. Look at that. The thing is junk. Tire's not quite junk, but this thing sure is junk. And I even have a chunk. I've even got a chunk of the dude's body in here from when he came up and slammed my door. So much fun, and this thing's pretty tore up. I don't think I'm gonna be able to save it, so yeah, that sucks, because that was a brand spanking new wheel and a whopping 2 races on it is all. And by 2 races, I mean like a heat race and a main event. So, all right, we're gonna get in here, take a closer look as to what's going on. All right, so here we are, looking under the car. There's the part of the light that I was talking about up here. My light strip that goes all the way across and around and under. All right, but let's take a look. This shock is okay, it's good. It's all right. I do have to replace this bolt right here. It actually broke. It was a Allen bolt. Let's see if I can get some better light for you. It was an Allen bolt like that, but I managed to find some random, it was actually metric bolt that had a nut to get that bolted back on there. Here's my chain. I did break a couple links off the chain, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. I did have to squeeze this back together when this broke to be able to get a bolt in there. So I have a feeling what I'm gonna end up doing is pulling this bolt out, putting a longer bolt in so that I can put a nut on the backside, just so that doesn't back out at any point in time. I need to take because of all the twist and everything that happened. So this broke and the shock blew. Well, this broke first, I believe. Blew the shock, and it allowed this whole rear end to just droop and go crazy forward. And you can see that it went crazy forward because look, right here, you can see where it was making contact with the actual bird cage. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to replace that, because that's probably gonna be bent. We will double check it, but probably gonna have to replace that 4-bar at least. So I'm gonna end up tearing into this side pretty good, checking all my bars. At one point this got all clocked over and rotated to this side, so I need to check this bar as well. Of course, get a new chunk of chain because that broke. I'm gonna have to readjust where the shock sits and get the proper valved shock in there that I want. So basically what happened, and it is when this chain breaks, it allowed my left rear to drive forward even more, like way too far forward, until it was limited by the bird cage. And once it hit that point, it basically pogoed and was driving the whole left side of the car up, which is why when people saw it break, I was carrying the left front like 2.5 feet off the ground. It was, and every time I got on the gas, I felt like I was gonna roll over. But me being me, I just stayed out and continued to race. So, which honestly, hindsight, I probably should have drove off the track because it was not safe to do. If I'd have hit a rut wrong with the car all jacked up right like that, I was already most of the way over. I could have sent myself the rest of the way. So, hindsight's 2020. I should stop making dumb decisions when I'm in the car. Sometimes my thinker don't think so well when I'm in the non-think zone. So anyways, so next thing I gotta do is I gotta get in here and look at the J-bar and the pull bar. It looks like some type of contact was made up here at the very top of my J-bar. So of course I'm gonna look at the pull bar, make sure nothing's bent, nothing's gonna try to break that way. I'm gonna look at this, make sure it's not tweaked out too much. I'm gonna have to inspect my driveline. After we got it back together, I didn't feel any vibrations or anything like that, but I did get, with the crazy angles, I might have gotten a crazy enough angle to create some damage around here. I did not pull the driveline, my brother did. And I know we were in a hurry and we're like, yeah, that's gonna work, throw it together. So I think I'm gonna pull this apart and inspect it, which I gotta inspect part of the transmission anyways, which I'll go over there and look. All right, so again, I'm gonna inspect all that stuff, get it inspect really close. Of course, I'm gonna look at my drive line here and my output shaft seal. Oh dang, yeah. So I usually run a seal or a O-ring around my drive line here so I can see how far I've been traveling in and out, and I think that came off after this all got gutted. So what happened is this rear end shifted forward, and it shifted forward so far that it blew out the seal on the backside here. And when it does that, it'll actually deadhead and slam up into the internals inside the transmission here, or the end of the housing, and push up on this transmission. And so what you want to look for is go up to all the ears and make sure nothing's cracked, and make sure you didn't break that. The other thing you're going to want to do is go to your bell housing bolts and make sure that they're not trashed or loosed, or loosened or broken, or anything like that. The other thing we're going to do is usually left side affects right side. You know, I'm not expecting to find anything broken over here on the right side, but I will definitely give a good look at everything over here. Gotta get the other side looked at. This camera's actually coming in handy because I can't see it from where I'm sitting, so I'm gonna be able to come look at this video and determine whether there was a break in there or not. But from what I can tell, everything is looking okay. So yeah, I will take a much closer look at it off camera, but once I do that, if I find anything, I will definitely report back. So alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if there's anything that you would have done better, or if you have questions, comments, concerns about anything, make sure you comment below. We got a lot more stuff coming, and we'll see you next video. Thanks for watching, guys.